Remember the last time you opened Steam, launched your console, or scrolled through the App Store on your phone? What did you see? A chaotic, boundless ocean of options. Before we dive into modern blockbusters like Elden Ring or Cyberpunk 2077, we need to go back to the time when computers were the size of a decent living room. In the 1950s and 1960s, scientists at places like MIT and Brookhaven National Laboratory weren't trying to create the next esports discipline. They were simply bored geniuses playing with vector graphics and oscilloscopes. Games like Tennis for Two, 1958, and Space War, 1962, laid the very first foundation. But the true big bang of the gaming industry happened in 1972, thanks to Nolan Bushnell, Al Alcorn, and a small company you've probably heard of, Atari. They released Pong. Pong didn't have a genre, and it was the genre. It was a digital simulation of table tennis. But it proved a revolutionary point. People absolutely loved controlling pixels on a screen. When arcade cabinets started appearing in bars, shopping malls, and laundromats around the world, developers realized players craved variety. They needed new challenges, and it was from this primal desire for novelty that the very concept of game genres was born. Let's start with the fundamentals, the titans, the foundational genres that built the entire industry from scratch in the era of arcade machines and early home consoles. Action and platformers games primarily focused on physical challenges that demand precise timing, lightning-fast reflexes, and spatial awareness. Platformers specifically task players with navigating levels by jumping across platforms and avoiding deadly obstacles. Iconic examples: Super Mario Bros., Sonic the Hedgehog, Celeste, Hollow Knight. These games deliver pure mechanical satisfaction. There's an immediate, unfiltered connection between pressing a button and your character's response on screen. When you nail a pixel-perfect jump, the dopamine hit is incredible. RPG role-playing games. Deeply rooted in tabletop games like Dungeons & Dragons, RPGs let players assume the role of a character or party with a heavy emphasis on narrative choice, character progression, leveling up, and deep customization. In an RPG, you don't just watch a story, you actively shape it. Want to be a noble paladin saving the world? Go ahead. Want to be a chaotic evil mage? The game will let you. Let's break down the four main pillars of the genre. Japanese RPG. Despite the name, JRPG isn't just a geographic label. It's a distinct design philosophy that took shape on Japanese consoles, mainly NES, SNES, and PlayStation, in the 80s and 90s. Instead of creating your own story, you experience a tightly authored narrative centered on a specific group of heroes. Character creation from scratch is rare. You're given pre-written protagonists with their own personalities, backstories, and drama. Vibrant, often anime-inspired or heavily stylized aesthetics. Traditional turn-based combat, or active time battle, which has evolved over the years into dynamic, tactical action. Massive focus on melodrama. Epic music, themes of friendship and saving the universe from godlike threats, the necessity of grinding, repetitive battles to level up. Standout examples: Final Fantasy series Persona, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, WRPG. The Western school of RPGs took a completely different path. Instead of linear storytelling, it emphasizes absolute player agency. The focus shifts to world exploration, freedom of choice, and the long-term consequences of those choices. Key features: moral gray areas. Absolute good and evil are rare. Decisions often have complex, sometimes tragic outcomes. Vast open worlds that feel alive. Dialogue wheels and branching quests where conflicts can be solved through diplomacy or force. Standout examples: The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, The Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, Fallout, New Vegas. Action RPG. This subgenre emerged when developers decided to blend the strategic depth of RPGs with the fluidity of pure action. Here, your personal reflexes and reactions matter just as much, sometimes more, than the numbers in your character menu. Philosophy. Instead of tactical menu commands, grab a sword or spell and crush your enemies in real time. Key features: real-time combat, dodging, blocking, attack timing. Often built around the isometric loot fest hack-and-slash concept, where the core loop is slaughtering thousands of monsters for better gear. In recent years, the subgenre has expanded significantly with third-person titles. Standout examples: Diablo series, Elden Ring, Cyberpunk 2077. CRPGs, the name comes from the 80s and 90s, when computers could finally handle the complex mathematical rules of tabletop games that consoles couldn't manage. Maximum mechanical and narrative complexity. The game throws challenges at you that require serious strategic thinking and understanding of the systems under the hood. usually isometric perspective and control of an entire party of characters. Deep tactical combat, either turn-based or real-time with pause, massive amounts of text, skill checks and dialogue, and highly variable quest outcomes. Standout examples: Baldur's Gate 3, Fallout 1 and 2, Pillars of Eternity, Disco Elysium. Shooters. Games centered on ranged combat, usually with firearms or thrown weapons. Players explore the world either through the character's eyes, first person, or via a camera following behind them, third person. Players love them for the high stakes and visceral thrill. Shooters test your situational awareness and aim. The feeling of weapon recoil combined with the tactical puzzle of outmaneuvering enemies creates an incredibly intense gameplay loop. Iconic examples: Doom, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Halo Infinite. Extraction shooters. One of the youngest yet fastest growing subgenres of modern gaming. It emerged at the intersection of tactical shooters, survival simulators, and battle royales, but delivered an entirely new level of tension for players. Philosophy: risk everything for the loot. The player's main objective here is not simply to kill as many enemies as possible or be the last one standing, but to enter a dangerous territory, complete objectives, gather valuable loot, and successfully extract through designated points on the map. The cost of death is everything. If you are killed during a raid, you lose absolutely all the loot you found on the location, as well as all your expensive gear that you brought from your personal stash. Standout examples: Escape from Tarkov, Hunt, Showdown, ARC Raiders. Fighting games discard complex maps and inventory management to focus entirely on combat mastery and the psychology of high-speed duels. What makes this genre special is its intimate one-on-one matchups. These are essentially digital chess played at breakneck speed, where the ability to read your opponent's mind is just as important as knowing the timings of your attacks. Street Fighter VI perfectly demonstrates this balance, thanks to more flexible control systems and deep drive mechanics, welcoming newcomers while rewarding experienced tacticians. Tekken 8 elevates the genre's signature three-dimensional movement to a new level with hyper-aggressive systems that turn every round into a truly spectacular show. Meanwhile, Mortal Kombat 1 reimagines the fighting experience by blending its iconic, hard-hitting combat with a rich cinematic story and a dynamic support character system. Visual novels place pure storytelling at the center, using detailed art illustrations, text, and branching narrative paths. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney turns courtroom sessions into an engaging detective thriller filled with eccentric witnesses. Steins Gate delivers a mind-bending science fiction story where even minor choices completely alter timelines. And Danganronpa creates a tense murder investigation mystery wrapped in a psychological thriller. Interactive cinema. Interactive cinema blurs the line between film and games, using live-action footage or highly detailed animation to put control of the story in the player's hands. Detroit: Become Human lets you decide the fate of androids through a branching system of meaningful choices. Until Dawn classically plays with horror tropes, where each character's survival depends on the player's quick actions. Her story turns everyone into a real detective, analyzing actual interrogation video footage to unravel a tangled crime. And Dispatch delivers a sharp superhero workplace comedy where you play a fallen hero turned dispatcher, managing a dysfunctional team of reformed villains through meaningful choices and strategic crisis calls. Racing. Moving from story-driven experiences to pure adrenaline, racing games capture the feeling of speed and drive. What makes them special is the masterful conveyance of mass, velocity, and physics that turns every corner into a test of focus. Gran Turismo 7 serves as a true motorsport playground, offering detailed simulation physics and deep car tuning for genuine auto enthusiasts. Forza Horizon 5 delivers absolute open-world freedom, letting you tear across the colorful landscapes of Mexico in supercars. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe provides classic fun with humorous power-ups and fantastical tracks that captivate players of all ages. Horror games turn vulnerability and tension into a powerful emotional rush. The unique quality of horror is that, unlike movies, you can't simply close your eyes, because to move forward you have to walk into the darkness yourself. The Resident Evil series delivers classic survival horror with constant tension, terrifying enemies, and strict resource scarcity. Silent Hill 2 dives into deep psychological horror using fog and surreal imagery to explore personal trauma. And Dead Space combines cosmic horror with confined spaces, forcing you to deal with nightmarish creatures in zero gravity. Strategy games that de-emphasize physical reflexes and instead reward tactical planning, resource management, and deep situational analysis. The player acts as a commander, controlling a battlefield or an entire civilization. Players love them for the absolute sense of intellectual triumph. When a grand strategy you meticulously planned for 3 hours executes perfectly against your opponent, you feel like a chess grandmaster. Iconic examples: StarCraft, Civilization series, Total War, Warhammer 3. Adventure games, a genre focused on puzzle solving, narrative exploration, and object interaction, usually with minimal emphasis on action or combat mechanics. It's like being the protagonist of an interactive novel or movie. The focus is on atmosphere, mysteries, and intellectual work, rather than button-mashing speed. Iconic examples: The Secret of Monkey Island, Myst, Life is Strange. As technology advanced and the internet became widespread, developers began breaking down the walls between traditional categories. They took pieces of action, shooters, and strategy, mixed them together, and created hyper-popular mega-genres that now dominate gaming culture. MOBA, Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. 2 teams of players, each controlling a unique character with their own abilities, compete on a symmetrical map. The main goal is to destroy the enemy's central base by pushing through defensive towers and AI minions. Endless replayability and intense team coordination. No 2 matches are the same. The depth of tactics combined with mechanical skill creates an incredibly addictive competitive environment. Iconic examples: League of Legends, Dota 2. Battle Royale. Massive multiplayer matches where dozens or hundreds of players drop onto a huge map with no equipment. Players must scavenge for weapons and gear while fighting each other as the save zone constantly shrinks, forcing everyone into direct confrontations. High tension and unpredictable chaos. You have only one life. The fear of entering an empty building not knowing if a sniper is waiting in the corner delivers a massive adrenaline rush. Winning a battle royale gives a true sense of survival triumph. Iconic examples: PUBG, Battlegrounds, Fortnite, Apex Legends. Survival craft games that drop the player into a hostile environment with minimal resources. The main task is to manage basic biological needs: hunger, thirst, temperature, and gather materials to craft tools, weapons, and build your own base. These games satisfy our primal instinct to create and overcome adversity. Iconic examples: Minecraft, Don't Starve, Valheim. Roguelikes and roguelites genres characterized by procedural level generation, locations created randomly each run, and permadeath. Die and you lose everything and start over. In roguelites, the experience is slightly softer because the game allows permanent upgrades between runs. Iconic examples: The Binding of Isaac, Hades. Now let's step away from the mainstream and peek into the most interesting corners of the gaming landscape. These are genres aimed at a very dedicated specific audience, or ones that are actively rewriting what video games can even be. Simulators games designed for the most accurate recreation of real-life processes, professions, or complex technical systems with a high degree of realism. There's something wonderfully calming about the methodical, almost meditative process of driving a truck across European roads or tending to a virtual farm after a chaotic real-world workday. Iconic examples: Microsoft Flight Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator 2, The Sims. Souls-like's a new subgenre born from Software's unique design philosophy. Its hallmarks: high difficulty, environmental storytelling, strict stamina management in combat, checkpoints that respawn enemies, bonfires, and the mechanic of losing accumulated currency upon death with the chance to retrieve it. These games don't hold your hand. Every boss is a massive concrete wall, and when you finally break through that wall on your 30th attempt, the euphoria of your own progress and triumph is indescribable. Iconic examples: Demon's Souls, Dark Souls series, Lies of P. Video game genres are not closed boxes. They are living ideas that breathe and evolve. In the modern era, almost every major release is a true hybrid monster. Just look at open-world action adventures like Grand Theft Auto 5 or Red Dead Redemption 2. These games aren't one thing. They're a third-person shooter, a driving simulator, a deep narrative adventure, and a light RPG progression system, all seamlessly packed into one massive world. Or take loot shooters like Borderlands or Destiny 2. By combining the dynamic combat of a first-person shooter with the addictive loot chasing, of an RPG, developers created a unique subgenre that keeps millions of players glued to their screens for thousands of hours. Innovation in games doesn't happen by reinventing the wheel from scratch. It happens when creative people look at two completely different things and fuse them together. As we move deeper into the new decade, technology is eliminating the last remaining technical limitations. We're already seeing key trends that will define the next generation of interactive entertainment. First, the development of virtual VR and augmented AR reality. VR isn't just a screen strapped to your face. This technology demands entirely new genres. We're already seeing unique spatial puzzles and physical simulators like Half-Life, Alyx, that simply couldn't exist on a flat monitor. Second, we're witnessing the merger of gaming with social infrastructure. The creation of metaverses and persistent worlds where the lines between game, live concerts, and creative sandboxes are blurring.